What's up, everybody? Dan Kelly here with another Codex review for the Codex Station. Today, I'll be reviewing the storyline, The Batman of Gotham, from the Batman series published by DC Comics. It was a 5-issue storyline that ran between Batman issues 131 and 135 from January 2023 to May 2023. It was written by Chip Zdarsky with pencils by Mike Hawthorne, Miguel Mendoza, Jorge Jimenez, and Mikel Janin, with inks by Adriano De Benedetto, Miguel Mendoza, Jorge Jimenez, and Mikel Janin. Colors by Tomu More, Roman Stevens, and Romulo Fajardo Jr. I apologize if I mispronounce that. And letters by Clayton Cowles. So the story picks up where the previous storyline, Failsafe, had ended. That was about essentially a killer robot that Batman created to stop him in case he ever went bad. And that storyline ended with Failsafe seemingly killing Batman. So this story picks up where it turns out that Batman was not killed by Failsafe, but he was transported to an alternate universe, to a world that never had a Batman and whose Bruce Wayne had died years before. And as soon as he wakes up there, he's in a pretty rough state, injured pretty badly from his battle with Failsafe. And he starts hallucinations of basically a skeleton Jim Gordon taunting him and kind of, pushing him forward as well. As I said, he's badly injured. He's stuck in this world that he doesn't know anything about. It's got an extremely corrupt police force. It's full of a lot of familiar faces, but as anytime you're dealing with an alternate universe thing, just because they're familiar doesn't mean that they're going to be the same people that you knew where you were from. There's a new villain that's introduced named the Red Mask, who is kind of pulling the strings with a lot of things on here and knows more about Batman than he should, being in the world that he's from. And you start to find out more about him and what his motivations and his agenda is, the deeper it goes into the story. So Batman has to do his best to protect the people that are around him now as best he can while he's trying to find a way to get home. And there are some things that happen in the story which could potentially be major issues down the road if DC chooses to continue addressing them or not. Only time will tell on that. Each issue also features a backup story of Robin, Tim Drake, trying to find Batman, who doesn't believe that Batman is dead and knows that he just has to go out and find him wherever he is, and shows him hopping between different dimensions or different universes to try and find him, and then finally catches up with him in the final issue of the storyline, issue 135, where they're reunited. The story is it's what you would expect from Chip Zdarsky. It's really good. It's interesting. It's got some interesting new concepts. It's got some good action. It's got a lot of good characterization. It's an adventure where Batman is somewhat out of his element since he's in a universe that he is not familiar with something where people are not used to there being a vigilante there to protect them. And like I said, it's an extremely corrupt police force, and he has to use every bit of his training to survive. He doesn't have his fortune. He doesn't have his gadgets. He just has to make do with what he's able to cobble together. The art was okay. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't terrible. It was just okay. I would have preferred it to be a little bit tighter, but overall it was all right. There are some things I didn't like about it. I don't want to specifically give them away because it would give away kind of some of the endings of the story, but it pertains to the Red Mask and who it turns out he really is. And it's a revelation that they could revisit down the road, but it's not really one that, that I liked, considering who the character is. It would be interesting, with the effect that Batman had on the people of this universe in the short time he was there. It would be interesting for them to revisit this world somewhere later on down the road and see how things may have changed, or for the better, or not changed, based on the impact he had on the people that he came across. So overall, I would rate this storyline an 8 out of a 10. Like I said, it was a good story. It was interesting, but there were a couple little things here or there that I didn't like. But overall, it was definitely an entertaining, good Batman story. So again, I've been Dan Kelly for the Codex Station. You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art, and you can find us online at thecodexstation.com, where you'll be able to find links to all of our socials. So make sure you go give us a like, follow, subscribe, and help us build this channel. And until next time, I'll catch you by the spinner rack.